Good afternoon. This is the World News at 1 with me, Christiana Babayo, on Haske TV News. The British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Dr. Richard Montgomery, has completed a two-day visit to Anambra State, meeting with political and security leaders to discuss preparations for the upcoming gubernatorial election. The visit comes just weeks after the election scheduled for 8 November. During his stay, Montgomery held talks with Governor Charles Soludo, gubernatorial candidate, the resident electoral commissioner at the Independent National Electoral Commission, the State Commissioner of Police, and representatives from civil society organizations. According to a statement from the British High Commission in Abuja on Thursday, the discussions centered around the technical and logistical preparations needed to ensure a smooth election. In our next report, Madagascar has sworn in an army colonel as president just days after a military takeover on the back of a popular rebellion that sent President Andry Rajoelina fleeing into exile. The African island nation's High Constitutional Court on Friday formalized the appointment of Colonel Michael Randrianirina in a ceremony crowning a tumultuous week in which Rajoelina was impeached for desertion of duty on Tuesday, with the military stepping in. Mass demonstrations in recent weeks over power and water shortages turned deadly, with the United Nations reporting that at least 22 people have been killed and more than 100 others were injured. A large crowd gathered for the ceremony at the court on Friday, with representatives of the youth-led movement rubbing shoulders with politicians. Foreign delegations, including from the United States, the European Union, and French ambassador, were also present, a journalist with the AFP news agency said. Palestinians in Gaza continue to suffer a harsh daily struggle to access food, water, and essential medical supplies 1 week into the ceasefire agreement, as Israel heavily restricts the flow of aid into the war-devastated enclave, contravening the deal. UNICEF spokesperson Tess Ingram told Al Jazeera that Palestinians in northern Gaza are in desperate need of food and water, as thousands have returned to total destruction. Speaking to Al Jazeera from the Al-Mawasi area in the south of Gaza Strip, Ingram said that in order to scale up humanitarian aid deliveries, multiple crossings into the enclave must be opened. She said the stakes are really high and there are 28,000 children who were diagnosed with malnutrition in July and August alone, and thousands more since then. The need to make sure that it's not just food coming in, but malnutrition treatments as well. While maintaining that humanitarian aid should never become political leverage, Ingram highlighted that assistance to Gaza has been severely constrained for 2 years, with the United Nations agencies sidelined. John Bolton, who served as Donald Trump's national security advisor before becoming a vocal critic of the president, has been criminally indicted on several federal charges. The Department of Justice presented a case to a grand jury in Maryland on Thursday, and they agreed that there was enough evidence to indict Bolton, who issued a statement maintaining his innocence. It comes after FBI agents searched Bolton's home and office in August as part of an investigation into the handling of classified information. The indictment makes Bolton, 76, the third of the U.S. President's political opponents to face charges in recent weeks. He could face decades in prison. According to a 26-page indictment filed at a court in Greenbelt, Maryland on Thursday, Bolton is charged with 8 counts of transmission of national defense information and 10 counts of unlawful retention of NDI. Prosecutors accuse him of illegally transmitting top-secret information about U.S. national defense using his personal email and other messaging apps. Now, next report, the new leader of Japan's governing party, Sanae Takaichi, has decided not to visit a controversial World War II shrine in Tokyo, as uncertainty remains over whether she will be appointed Prime Minister ahead of a visit by United States President Donald Trump before the end of the month. Takaichi, 64, seen as an arch conservative from the right of the Liberal Democratic Party, has previously visited the the Yasukuni shrine, including a government minister. However, Takaichi opted on Friday to send an offering, and reports said she was likely to refrain from visiting in order not to antagonize the country's neighbors, whom Imperial Japan had occupied and committed atrocities against in the first half of the 20th century. Past visits by top leaders to Yasukuni, which honors convicted war criminals, have angered China and South Korea. The visit by Japanese premier was in 2013 by the late Shinzo Abe, Takaichi's mentor. Takaichi's decision not to visit the shrine came as Japan's former Prime Minister Tomichi Murayama, best known for making a statement apologizing for atrocities Japan committed in Asia over the course of World War II, died aged 101. Murayama, in office from 1994 to 1996, issued the 1995 Murayama Statement on the 50th anniversary of Japan's unconditional surrender. And that's all we have on World News at 1. Stay tuned to our subsequent programs. I am Christiana Babayo. Thanks for joining us.